I stumbled across this on X. The headline said, Brazil, probably. So I don't know where or when this one actually happened. This one's grainy, but it looks to me like as the two men on the motorbike are passing the intended victims, the rear passenger, he readies up his pistol, pointing it at the occupants to get them to stop. So he uses surprise, speed, and violence of action. The pointed pistol, well, that's the violence of action. To dominate, to gain submission by means of a deadly threat. And from that moment, they're already facing a drawn and pointed gun. If it was a hit juxtaposed to a robbery, they'd have begun shooting long before this point. It's a robbery. They're looking to dominate and gain submission quickly. We'll see the bad guy on the back of the bike will briefly withdraw his threat, brings the gun in as he's getting ready for the dismount. He quickly extends it again just to make sure that he's going to get that submission. Then he's going to retract it again. He wants to hold on, have that support to dismount. Now he hasn't practiced keeping his gun up on target for the dismount. Maybe he's a little new at this. This is a transition. People are vulnerable during transitions. Transitions are opportunities. As far as I'm concerned, he was a little slow to get that gun up, to get that arm fully extended. To me, it's like, complacency is already beginning to sink in for this guy. I can't even tell. Is he pointing it directly at the driver? Because that's what I would expect when he's approaching from in front of the vehicle. He doesn't know if that car's in park. The driver could still lurch forward and bump this guy off the road. Plus, he's getting ready to enter into a major transition. But you got to be ready. You got to have the gun in your hand early enough to be able to stop this threat. Okay, what's the transition? He's going to have to go through some focal shifts. Currently, he should be looking directly through this windshield, watching for furtive movements. Because unless everybody's hands are up and visible, anybody in that vehicle could be drawing a gun from concealment. He's going to have to round the corner on the front of the vehicle. He's going to lose just a wee bit of visibility as he passes by this front A-pillar. Then he's going to have to refocus, that's a focal shift, through what's probably going to be the driver's side window. When in a deadly force violent confrontation, it often comes down to milliseconds, tenths of a second, not seconds. This is a transition that you can exploit. Is this a guarantee? No, there are no guarantees. Things can go bad in so many ways. You can watch the full video breakdown at humilitasfirst.locals.com. It's available to all viewers, whether or not you decide to support the work.